I will not return until I destroy the Muslim army. Send us your champions.
Come out, Hamza. Come out, Ali. Come out, Ubaidah.
Step forward, enemy of God.
Before we start this episode, we hope you will click the follow and like buttons and share the clip so you can receive all that is new.
On one of the nights of second Ramadan, after the Hijra, the warm breeze crept into the alleys of Medina. Prophet Muhammad bihi sari natahakahu huwa tamday misalim. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, sat in the Muslim peace at him.
Quraysh had confiscated the Muslims' wealth in Mecca and cast harm in every corner. Then the news arrived like lightning.
A massive merchant caravan of Quraysh led by Abu Sufyan ibn Harb returning from the Levant, loaded with a fortune of 5,000 dinars, passing near Medina. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said while consulting his companions, "This is your wealth that they took, go out to it. Perhaps God will grant it to you as spoils." Hearts hesitated a little, but the companions shone like stars. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq said firmly, "O Messenger of God, proceed as God guides you." And Umar ibn al-Khattab added with enthusiasm,
"We are with you until death."
And Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh, leader of the Ansar, shouted,
"O Messenger of God, if you commanded us to plunge into the sea with you, we would do so."
And this is what the Messenger of God wanted to hear. But because the Ansar had pledged to the Messenger of God to defend him only within Medina, so the Messenger wanted their agreement on going out with him. The Islamic army went out, 313 men, taking turns on 70 camels and only 2 horses. The plan was to raid the caravan, so the Muslims would recover their wealth, then return to Yathrib. On the way, Abu Sufyan learned of the ambush, so he changed his route intelligently and sent word to Mecca. Save your wealth, save your wealth, save your wealth. The arrogant Abu Jahl refused, refused, clad in armor and swords with 100 horses and 700 camels, boasting, "We will drink wine at Badr, slaughter camels and destroy Muhammad and his companions." Abu Sufyan escaped with the caravan, but Abu Jahl insisted, "We will not return until we reach Badr." The Muslims learned of an army from Quraysh coming out to confront them, but they pledged allegiance to the Messenger of God, peace be upon him, that they were with him and would face the polytheists' army and would not turn back. The Muslims arrived at Badr first, on the 17th of Ramadan. The Prophet, peace be upon him, ordered the wells filled with sand except for one, and Al-Hubab ibn al-Mundhir built a basin around the spring.
Go with the horses and sneak away to monitor the disbelievers' army.
The Prophet, ﷺ, peace be upon him, sent Zubayr ibn Awam and Sa'ad ibn Waqas for reconnaissance, and they heard the sounds of Quraysh approaching. In the morning, the 2 groups met. The Prophet ﷺ, peace be upon him, looked at the dense army of Quraysh, then at his few companions, and said with tears,
"O God, if this band is destroyed today, you will not be worshipped on earth."
God sent down drowsiness as a security upon them, and inspired the angels. "I am with you, so strengthen those who believe." The Prophet ﷺ, peace be upon him, organized the rows. The Muhajireen battalion led by Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Ansar battalion led by Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh and Al-Zubayr on the right flank. Al-Zubayr on the right flank. Al-Miqdad ibn Aswad on the left flank. Mus'ab ibn Umair was the standard bearer. The battle began with duels. Al-Aswad ibn Abd Al-Asad al-Makhzumi came out, boasting, wanting to drink from the Muslims' basin.
"Do you deny me the water? My God, I will either drink from it or destroy it or die before it."
Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib stepped forward. The brave lion, with his shining sword, struck the black man a decisive blow to his leg, causing him to fall into the basin. Bleeding, Hamza killed him with another strike and returned shouting, "Allahu Akbar!" who hid his heart dancing with the joy of victory.
Allahu Akbar.
Then Utbah ibn Rabi'ah, the old man, came out with his brother Shayba and his son Al-Walid, demanding their equals. The Ansar hesitated, but Imma, the Prophet ﷺ, peace be upon him, chose 3 lions: Hamza for Shayba, Ali ibn Abi Talib for Al-Walid, and Ubaidah ibn Al-Harith for Utbah. Hamza, with his mighty strength, attacked Shayba with a sword that sliced through the air. With one blow, he severed his neck. Shayba fell dead. Hamza returned chanting, "There is no God but Allah." As for Ali, the young man with piercing eyes, he faced Al-Walid in a fierce, rotating fight, circling each other, exchanging blows, until Ali plunged his sword into Al-Walid's chest. He fell gasping for it. Ali said, "Praise be to God who has honored his religion." Finally, the brave Ubaidah ibn al-Harith, who migrated first, dueled Utbah. Utbah struck Ubaidah in the hand and blood flowed. Ubaidah struck Utbah in the leg. Ubaidah could not continue, so Hamza and Ali rushed like the wind and struck Utbah together, and until his head fell. However, Ubaidah's wounds were deep, and they carried him to the Prophet, peace be upon him, who wiped his forehead and said, "I bear witness that you are a martyr, O Ubaidah." Ubaidah died smiling. The first martyr in the duel is a martyrdom that honors the Muhajireen. The general battle erupted like fire. The Prophet, peace be upon him, threw a handful of dust toward the faces of the polytheists, shouting, "May the faces be disgraced." Oh! The wind carried it into their eyes like arrows. And as God said, "And you threw not when you threw, but it was God who threw." The Muslims attacked with one cry. God sent 1,000 angels to steady the feet, then 3,000 throwing stones, then 5,000 fighting like a father in the era of Badr. Hamza charged like a ferocious lion, splitting the ranks of Banu Abd al-Darrah with his sword, striking blows that cut through armor. Lozawi, Punta, he killed 3 in minutes. Ali ibn Abi Talib was fighting like lightning, stabbing and fighting. And Al-Abbas ibn Abd al-Muttalib, who was captured but fought fiercely at first, Al-Hubalatibuli first. Dozens of polytheists fell, and blood flowed like rivers. In the middle, the Prophet, peace be upon him, stood on the hill praying,
O God, fulfill for me what you have promised me.
Abu Bakr accompanied him, protecting him with his body, while Umar ibn al-Khattab fought in the front lines, his sword shining, striking right and left, shouting, "Mao!" shouting,
Oh Lord, honor Islam, man!
As for Bilal ibn Rabah, the Abyssinian who was tortured in Mecca, he found Umayyah ibn Khalaf, his former master, in the ranks. What? Bilal rushed toward him like a beast, shouting, "You are the disgraced one." He struck Umayyah a blow to his head, and he fell dead. On the left flank, Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh led the Ansar.
Fight for your Lord!
A fierce fight ensued with Utbah, who had survived the duel. Sa'ad stabbed him with his sword in his chest, and Sa'ad shouted, "Allahu Akbar! Victory to Islam!" Umayr ibn al-Hammam al-Ansari stepped forward. He heard the Prophet, peace be upon him, promising paradise. He threw a handful of dates from his hand and said,
"Fine. There is nothing between me and paradise except these few dates."
Then he charged into the ranks, striking and stabbing until he was struck in the heart and died, the first Ansar martyr, smiling as if at a wedding.
And Mu'adh ibn Amr and Mu'adh ibn Afra, the 2 brave young men, infiltrated the heart of the Quraysh army. They found Abu Jahl encouraging his men. Mu'adh rushed toward him like an arrow and struck a sword into his shoulder, and Awim stabbed him in his chest. Abu Jahl fell, gasping and shouting, "Woe to you!" Then Abdullah ibn Mas'ud severed his head with his sword. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, said the Fadi.
This is the leader of the polytheists.
The battle ended by midday as if it were a dream. 70 of Quraysh were killed and 70 were taken captive, including their notables. 14 Muslims were martyred, 6 from the Muhajireen, such as Ubaidah and Umar ibn Abi Waqas, and 8 from the Ansar, Mikafir. The martyrs were buried in the soil of Badr. The dead were cast into a well. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, addressed them, "Have you found what your Lord promised to be true?" He treated the captives with mercy, feeding them from their own food, and teaching the illiterate how to read for their ransom. The victory was a miracle, the few overcoming, the many faith defeating might. Through patience and reliance on God, the Battle of Badr, the Day of Furqan, wherein God distinguished between truth and falsehood, and the empowerment of Islam began. These companions, the heroes of faith, that teach every generation that true courage lies in the hearts, not in the swords. Not in the sword.